Okay, welcome again. So now let's go through the tools that will be requiring to get producing with your online courses. Right? We've touched upon this in RISE1. Okay, and you might have a basic idea, but let's try to get one level deeper, specifically from an online courses perspective. Right? So the first one is you require some software, some hardware in form of your audio and video. Video is again a software, by the way. But if you're putting an extensive high quality application, then you require video cards and so on and so forth. But for the people, I'll just make it very simple without getting into details. In case they have to, they can bring it about in the RISE circles, and we'll take it from there. But from a software perspective, right, for an online course, you will require basically, I would say, three. All right. One is either you use a PPT, things like I'm using, or you require a mind map. All right. A PPT can be done through a PowerPoint presentation, and a mind map, all right, which I have not used, and I can demonstrate at the right time, but I don't use. I use, I can speak the right language when it's required. You have MindMaster and others that are available out there. There's a Mind Maple and various others, right? These are two which specifically have been mentioned over here. So, and these are for Windows, what I named as. For Mac, there is again ScreenFlow and the others that exist, right? Mind Noodles and Mind Maps itself, and so on and so forth. Okay. PowerPoint you use universally, hence the reason of using the way I'm using it. Number two, you will require a video filming and a video platform that you can start recording your videos into, right? Like a screen capture and so on and so forth that we're doing now. That requires something like I use the Movavi as it's called, right? Movavi is MOVAVI. I use that. Okay. And to do that, I use the mobile phone to capture it. But you can use Canon 200 DSLR, right, for better quality. I don't know if this quality that you see is good enough. Then you're good with your mobile phone, depending on the mobile phone you use. Okay, these are good quality mobile phones right now. So otherwise, you can choose a DSLR. Okay, now the software is the Movavi. There's either a phone or a DSLR camera, right? Thirdly, once you edit this on a movie, after you've captured this along with the screens, etc., in the whole suite, you edit it and put some elements that you require to put them in so that people perceive these videos better in form of editing. Once you do that, then you need to upload them to a platform called Teachable, right? Teachable has it's a platform for running your own school, right? And when I say school, it's an online school. So your courses will run over there. And if you remember the concept I mentioned, right, there is a course which has sections, and each section then has lectures, right? That is how this will be perceived and then uploaded accordingly. Clear? So you have a bunch of tools over there. Each of them is used in the respective way. Now, for a mic, I use a mic, right? You can choose not to if your mobile phone is good, if your laptop is good enough to perceive and your outcome that you see is good. But I prefer being a little more professional in doing this because the very communication is what you're selling, and unless sold, when I say selling, it's how it's conceived, right? So if it's not conceived right, you might not get the right outcome. So I use a mic. Right. In my case, that mic that I use is actually called the Lewitt system. All right. You can use a BOI. There's a whole BOYI, which is the most used one if you see on Amazon, etc. It does equally good. Okay. So this again can be tried and tested, but what is named on the screen have been tried and tested by us. So you can use any of them blindly unless you still feel the urge to do an R&D and figure out your things. But these are the ones that we've been using, okay, and works very well. Have been tried and tested by the community as well, and some of them where I belong to. Okay, not my community, but some other community. the people whom I rely and depend on, I've done enough R&D on this. Okay. Now, as far as the other platforms are concerned, right, website we've discussed in the RISE one. I won't repeat it. But LMS, yes, teachable. Teachable, a little practical one we'll go through when we are doing a RISE circle on this. So that is the one that you will know, but it's very easily conceivable. You can easily upload and create your structures accordingly based on the concept I just mentioned to you. Right? It's a free site as well as a paid site. Right? Being the free site is where you don't get the domain, but when you pay for it, you get little upgrades, which is usable. We prefer an upgrade one. All right. So, but I leave up to your decision depending on your budgets you want to run through and etc. And take it from their point of view. And communication, I mentioned this. We'll use it during the blitzscaling activities. Funnel is the click funnel. We discussed this, creation of funnel and then following through sequences. You can use, at this stage, ConvertKit itself when you're building your list. Otherwise, you require specialized ones like click funnel to go on. Right? Webinar, I told you I use Zoom. You are free to use any of these which I mentioned on the screen. Community, Mighty Networks is the default choice. Okay, again, out of these, whatever you choose is the final, should be the final one. Tracking mechanism, we use ClickMagick. You can use the same. Payment, again, open. Use any of the four that I mentioned on your screen. We sometimes use Stripe as well, right? It works very well with the get response and the others, so we can use that. Rest is automation, right? It comes at the later level, but Zapier is the most easiest platform to kind of connect each of your integratable items that we just discussed and other platforms that come to existence. So these are the tools that will help you do. Your main tool being your movie editing and movie capture, and the hardware being your video capture and the mic, along with your laptop or one of the other devices that you have as a PC. And for then uploading, that's teachable, and for your webinar it's either Demio or Zoom, webinar or Jam, and then you can use Zoom as well. And then for your making your funnels, you can start with ConvertKit and get to ClickFunnels, right? That brings you to the end of the tools. Now with that brings us to the end of the day 2, and here's the challenge, right? Whatever you learned in the courseware, please construct one as per the steps shown. Now if you remember, there was a courseware asked for you to be done earlier, right? You can tweak that using these steps. If you think there's some better learning that's come about and you can do better with that, please do that, and create one more course, create the courseware and bring out your issues during your RISE circle. But whatever you make here, please ensure yourselves to tweak your business plan, your goals, your pricing that you put in, and so the budget based on the tools that you choose, and then go about making a final business plan as one of your final tweaks is if the courseware is the only thing that you're going ahead with. All right. With that, I will see you on the day 4. Wow. What about the day 3? I'm sorry. So we are on RISE2 with conceptual lectures, which is the 4th one in that sense. Okay, you probably have too many days going about, and this is a self-learning course, guys. So there will be various days. The days that have been put on the PPT is specifically for people who are having a regular job and would want to see this in a serial fashion. And look at the days on the top and go accordingly. Right? What we've done is we put these as a bunch of lectures which can be conceived or done in one particular day, in those particular days itself. Right? Hence, you see the sections of 2 by 4 and 2 by 3, etc., which we are calling as days. Right? But if you're working and then you have limited time, then you go as per the day, but finish that particular slide or a deck that particular day in that particular lecture. Okay. Otherwise, you give up the rhythm of sorts. Okay. So I'll see you on the e-book publishing framework, right, as your next digital asset.